going to be demolished next month and is expected to take 6 weeks. All right, time now to go ahead and get a look at how your traffic is on this Wednesday morning, especially with some rain out there. How's it shaping up, Juan?
Well, a lot of that is moving outdoors right now, or moving away from us, I should say, south of the coastal bend, but we are seeing SPID flowing smoothly in both directions. Actually, it looks like a pretty quiet start. But we are seeing a few intersections that are seeing increased traffic. This is traffic flow over into the Beeville area, over out at the Christus Spawn over in Beeville along 181 and 59. You can see along the access road going along 181, a little bit of some extra traffic, but overall not looking bad. 181 over in Beeville, courtesy of our weather bug, not looking bad at all. Kingsville, Highway 77, it's a quiet start, as well as over in Calallen as well, and even here in downtown Corpus Christi. It's the latest look at traffic. Paul.
All right, Juan, thank you so much. Coming up this morning on Chris 6 Sunrise this Wednesday, a new strategy adjusting to the pandemic. We'll take a look at the coastal bend rebound as a local dairy farm makes some changes. That and a whole lot more when Chris 6 Sunrise returns right after this quick break.
This is the Rebound Coastal Bend, brought to you by Conviva. Visit us at convivacarecenters.com.
And welcome back to Sunrise on this Wednesday morning. Hope you're doing well. Time now is 5:12. A family operating a dairy farm in Sandia for nearly 100 years says they were hit hard by the pandemic. But as Rebound reporter Patrick Johnstone shows us, a new venture is helping that farm bounce back.
Twice a day, around 300 cows at Canali dairy farms are milked. Some of that milk gets shipped out, but as of the last few months, some of it gets processed right on the farm to sell.
We were able to get the plant online to do some introductory artisan cheeses in November.
The plan for the new processing facility was hatched around 4 years ago. Construction took about 22 months, and now it is fully operational. However, when the pandemic hit, it took a toll on the dairy industry, and it nearly devastated the Canali farm.
If we would not have been so far along with the construction process, it would have probably just sunk us financially and made better sense just to shut the doors down and eliminate the dairy.
During the process, the milk travels only about 200 feet from cow all the way to the final marketplace.
You can even see the cheese-making process while you shop, and all that is a large part of the appeal.
We're out here at the farm, there are the cows, there's the dairy, there's the plant, this is how this all works. And it really is something that you're not going to see anywhere else.
The customer reaction to the Canali product has been overwhelming.
I had no idea that there were so many people in South Texas that were so passionate about farm fresh dairy products.
And a heartfelt message from Joe Canali Jr. and his wife Christina to anyone who has ever bought even a single wedge of cheese from them.
You do not understand how huge a single purchase is for us in this endeavor, and thank you for spreading the word, and thank you for entrusting us to provide fresh dairy products for your table.
Reporting for the Rebound Coastal Bend, I'm Patrick Johnstone.
And it's all about getting it fresh. For more information on it, where you can purchase their products, go to our website at christv.com. Time now for a full check of our forecast, and visibility seems to be clearing up out there this morning.
Yeah, it is clearing up.
That's
from
right.
Earlier this morning. Juan Acuna standing by with the details on what you need to know right now. Good morning, Juan.
Good morning, Paul and Paula. And by the way, I know the Canali family over in Sandia, great family, and they have a great product as well. We've known them for years, and good family friends of ours. As we look over into the Rockport Area Museum right now, at the Maritime Museum, I should say, the wind is howling out there, and as I mentioned, visibility is improving across the region, but the flags out there blowing in the breeze, it's causing the bays to get a little bit choppy to rough out there. We have a northerly wind there at 17 miles per hour. Look at that temperature, 56 degrees, and it was only about an hour ago where these temperatures were going into the middle 60s, upper 60s across the area. So as the frontal boundary has pushed through the region, we're seeing cooler conditions, and of course, we're seeing improving visibility as well. But look at these winds. These are sustained wind values right now out of the north at 21 miles an hour at Corpus Christi International, 24 out of Port Aransas, so a good 15 to 25 miles an hour over the entire coastal bend. And these are the current gusts that we're reporting: 33 miles an hour out at the Naval Air Station. Falfurrias, you were 36 miles an hour about 5 minutes ago. You come down to 31, but nearing 30 miles an hour off in Kingsville, as well as Port Aransas, Beeville, Rockport. Everyone is included in all this wind. The dense fog advisory that was in place was allowed to expire at 3 o'clock. That has now moved south, but now we have small craft advisories for the bays, near shore and offshore waters, and that will go into this afternoon to about 3 o'clock. So as far as the wind forecast is concerned, this is at 11 o'clock going near the noon time frame. Everyone's still going to have a pretty strong wind out of the north-northeast, 15 to 25. The good news is that especially for the inland areas, the winds will begin to relax as we go into this afternoon, going about 10 to 15, but staying breezy right near the coastline, even to 10 o'clock going into tomorrow morning as well. Small craft advisories are going to be likely right along the coastline as well. And then as we go to tomorrow afternoon, we'll pick up more of an east-northeasterly flow. Still breezy out there, just a tad, but going at about 10 to 15. Look at these temperatures to start off. Again, as you are getting your morning going, don't forget the jacket, perhaps even a light sweater. 56 here in Corpus Christi, as well as up the road in Rockport, George West as well. Everyone in the 50s all across the region. And as we look at the hour-by-hour forecast, with the frontal boundary and those strong northerly winds finally going to be able to push some of this cloud coverage out of the region. So we'll see a healthy amount of some sunshine later on this afternoon, and 65 at 11 o'clock. And again, notice the winds start to come down just a little bit as we go throughout the afternoon, as we top into the lower 70s later on this afternoon. So even along the coastline, upper 60s off in Port Aransas, 72 out at the Naval Air Station. And even as we look at the pollen count for today, you can sure bet with the northerly wind, that mountain cedar was going to be high, and that's what we're getting high counts of mold as well, moderate counts of grass, and even some ragweed in the air as well. There's a lot in the air to go around. So 7-day forecast, 72 for today, a pretty cold start for tomorrow, 40 and 64 there, 50 and 71, and breezy on Friday. And then the winds pick up again on Saturday, and we warm up quite nicely, 82 there, and then very nice Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, highs back in the 70s. Paul.
It looks good. All right, Juan, thank you so much. Happening later on today, a story with, how shall we say, universal appeal. Two NASA astronauts, as you see here, expected to take spacewalks outside the International Space Station. Now, NASA flight engineers Michael Hopkins as well as Victor Glover will be finishing the installation of a science platform as well as completing battery upgrade work. The astronauts arrived at the ISS back in November aboard the SpaceX Crew Dragon Resilient spacecraft. Live broadcasts of the spacewalks will air on NASA TV as well as the agency's website.
Well, stay with us. We've got much more to come right here on Sunrise as the high school baseball season, it gets underway. We'll tell you about a sibling duo prepared to take the state by storm. Sports Director Alan Harwell will have more coming up right after the break.
Welcome back, 5:22 your time right now. In sports this morning, high school basketball is back over in Sinton. The Pirates ranked number 6 in the state in Class 4. They're led by many star players. And this morning, as sports director Alan Harwell tells us, it includes two who know each other real well.
No, you're not seeing double. These are the Galvan brothers, Renee and Rylan, identical twins and star athletes at Sinton High School, and they are double trouble for opposing teams. Renee plays quarterback, and there he is, number 4, running with the football. He accounted for over 2,000 yards this past season, and that's Rylan, running right at you. A star running back, rushed for nearly 1,600 yards. Now, they're both so good, they were named District Co-Most Valuable Players.
Oh, that was amazing. I thought it was pretty crazy because our coach had told us that that's never happened to anybody in a district before. So it's been awesome to be able to do that together. I mean, you really don't see that, and for us to do that together, it's awesome. It means everything.
But believe it or not, they're even better at baseball. Renee is the starting catcher, and he's already earned a scholarship to play at Texas. Rylan, meanwhile, plays outfield. He's still weighing several options. Two incredible multi-sport athletes who like to feed off each other, along with that competitive fire of brotherly love.
Yeah, it's always been a competitive relationship between both of us, and we see one success and we just want to match it or do even better. So, yeah, there's always been a competitive relationship between both of us. I mean, we compete against one another, and like Renee said, one success we try to match the other, and it's always been that way.
They are the epitome of what it means to be a dual sport athlete here in Sinton. I'm fortunate to coach Renee at the quarterback position, so he and I, have built that relationship through the football field. And, Rylan, going to Texas and my, background of being a UT guy, it's been kind of cool to see how, they've evolved throughout the years.
And guess what? They are just juniors. That's right. You're going to get to watch them play for the next year and a half. Reporting from Sinton, Alan Harwell, Chris 6 Sports.
Sky's the limit for those two. Well, Carnival Cruise Line announcing they're canceling and delaying more U.S. excursions. The Magic, Paradise, and Valor ships won't return for operation until November. The delay comes as the U.S. is averaging about 170,000 new COVID-19 cases per day. The company has also suspended its seasonal service out of San Diego. Travel agencies predict cruise service won't return in North America until at least July.
A reminder from the state this morning when it comes to your driver's license or your ID cards. DPS saying the public waiver on expiration dates is just a few months away in April. Governor Abbott granting a waiver due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, it applied to driver's licenses, CDLs, commercial learner's permits, ID cards, as well as election ID certificates that expired on or after March 13th of last year. The waiver ends on April 14th.
And let's turn our focus to traffic right now. And Juan, anything out there that we need to be aware of?
We are getting reports of police responding to SPID and the Flower Bluff exit. We have an accident that the police are responding to, so we're going to be keeping an eye on that. But taking a live look over at 37, you can see traffic is flowing smoothly there, and we're looking over out near the Flower Bluff region and coming in off the island there. But everything is flowing smoothly. But again, that's SPID and the Flower Bluff exit. We're going to be watching closely. A little bit of extra traffic over along Waldron. SPID is looking good. Saratoga down into Everhart intersection. A little bit of extra traffic over along Ocean Drive as well, but not looking bad. And into downtown Corpus Christi, everything is smooth sailing early this morning. So that's the latest look at traffic. Paul, over to you.
Yeah, we will keep an update on that accident there or incident. Thank you, Juan. In our next half hour of Chris 6 Sunrise, are you waiting for a COVID vaccine? Find out what Corpus Christi says must be done before a mega clinic is opened here. That and a whole lot more when Chris 6 Sunrise continues.
You're watching Chris 6 News Sunrise.
And welcome back, folks. Time now is 5:29. Well, most Senate Republicans are against another impeachment trial for former President Trump. On Tuesday, all but 5 voted in favor of a resolution to declare the proceedings unconstitutional. Their effort failed, clearing the way for Mr. Trump to be tried next month. And get ready, folks. You could soon buy a COVID-19 home test kit right from a vending machine. Now, this machine is the first of its kind in the United States. Wellness for Humanity unveiled the vending machine in New York City. Now, here's how it works. You buy the test online, receive a barcode, and then scan it on the vending machine. The test costs about $119, and it could be covered by insurance. The company plans to roll out 1,000 vending machines in the next 3 to 6 months across the U.S.
A mega COVID-19 clinic at Corpus Christi. It's something many have been asking for, but just how close is it to actually being a reality? Turns out the biggest issue right now is actually supply.
When we produced our vaccine management plan, it's a living, breathing document. We produced this plan over 2 months ago to the state of Texas. It always contemplated clinics inside. As you know, we have over 80 providers in the urban center. It's not about our distribution center. It's about supply versus demand. We have a very limited supply and a very big demand.
There you have it, supply and demand. The American Bank Center is one area that's been talked about as a potential host site for a mass vaccination event.
All right, it's time now for our Sunrise question of the day. In 2016, a Hong Kong company, they unveiled a robot named Sophia. Take a listen.
I'm Sophia of Hanson Robotics, one of the first androids in the world.
Oh, hello, Sophia. The team behind her now says 4 models, including Sophia, will start rolling out of factories in the first half of 2021. Researchers say they're developing more healthcare functions for Sophia, like being able to take someone's temperature. That brings us to our question of the day, Paulo. How would you feel about letting a robot into your house? Depends upon the robot. Head to our Facebook page and weigh in. We're going to read some of the responses later on during our newscast.
Oof, that's a little too real. Can you imagine you pop around a corner and There's Sophia. Oh, hello, Sophia.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, time now for a full check of the forecast with meteorologist Juan Acuna. And Juan, I understand folks should travel with a little safety in mind this morning.
Absolutely right. Yeah, we had some of that fog and mist early this morning. Frontal boundary is now through the region, and that's what tops our weather story. So we have improving weather conditions. However, we have cooler air that's filtering in, and also a lot of wind as well. And as we look at the rest of the day today, it'll be cooler out there, but still above seasonal average. I still think we're going to manage the 70s for afternoon highs. A little bit more sunshine. We'll have some high cirrus clouds across the region and a few clouds. It's not going to be total sunshine, but definitely we'll look for that sunshine to be breaking through. We do have a cold Thursday morning on tap for us here, and I'm talking about temperatures mainly into the lower 40s to even some upper 30s possible for our inland communities. And as we look farther in time, a little bit warmer as we go on into Friday and Saturday, and also the winds are going to be increasing as well. In fact, by Saturday afternoon, I do think we'll be back into the lower 80s for afternoon highs. And this morning, again, we had the fog, we had the mist, a little bit of drizzle as well. It didn't amount to anything, unfortunately, though. Officially out at the airport, we stayed at 0. We did register 1/100th of an inch of rain over on into the Alice area, though, so at least it was a little bit of something out there. Current conditions, 50s all over the map, and again, lots of wind as well. Northeasterly winds 15 to 25, and still holding on to quite a decent amount of cloud coverage as well. So as we look at the hourly forecast, again, windy now. We'll look for some of that afternoon sunshine to break through. We'll look for an afternoon high of 72 degrees, and again, holding on to cloud coverage into the overnight hours. A few breaks here and there could allow us to briefly drop into the upper 30s, but I think we'll stop at about 40 degrees as we head into tomorrow morning. So here's the temperature forecast. About noontime, lots of 60s on the map, and then later on this afternoon, a good portion of us into the lower 70s. And then, like I mentioned, a good cold start tomorrow morning. We have some upper 30s around Georgia West, Beeville, and again, I think about 40 degrees here in the city of Corpus Christi, and into the mid 40s to lower 50s right near the coastline. And then for tomorrow, I should say Thursday afternoon, not looking bad, and we'll look for those highs right into the mid 60s and pretty much near seasonal highs there. So windy for today, east northeasterly winds a tad on the breezy side for tomorrow, 10 to 15, but they do pick up out of the southeast as we head on into the end of the week, 10 to 20 there, and then just downright windy once again out of the south, 15 to 25 as we head on into Saturday. Marine forecast, the bays will be choppy to rough out there, seas 5 to 8 feet. We do have that small craft advisory in effect until 3 o'clock, so boaters and mariners continue to use caution there. Tide times for today, 5:35 out at Bob Hall Pier, 5:07 at the Port Aransas Jetty, and later on this evening at about 8:52 over at the Nueces Bay area as well. So there's the frontal boundary again beginning to push in. Again, that light shower activity that was in the northern sections of the coastal bend has nothing but fizzled out right now. It's colder up to the north. We have 20s and 30s there. This is going to continue to move off, and our next frontal boundary taking shape over in the Pacific Northwest. That will arrive here late Saturday and on into Sunday. So 40, 64 for tomorrow, 50 and 71 on Friday, 82 on Saturday afternoon, but that front early Sunday makes it very nice as we head into next week. Paulo.
All right, thank you for that, Juan. Well, this morning, the San Diego community is mourning the loss of a teacher who died from COVID-19 complications. 50-year-old Hector Cantu passed away over the weekend. He was a director of the San Diego ISD mariachi program, which he helped create. Cantu fought for years a battle with the UIL to convince them to include mariachi music in competition. His co-workers and students remember him for his love of education and the impact he had on students.
We were all broken at one point, and he came in and he helped us. He fixed us, he rebuilt us, not just one individually, but as a group, and he made us a family.
He was like my father, in a way.
Yes, he's got to be missed. Hector Cantu had been with San Diego ISD for 21 years.
All right.